Hey everyone! So I'm surprised I haven't made this video earlier because Hangxiety was one of the first things that I noticed that made me question if I had a problem with drinking or not. Spoiler alert, I did. And I know that since you clicked on this video, you already know what a hangover is. You know that they range from mild to severe, and that sometimes anxiety can happen even when you're having a mild hangover. It's funny because when I was doing research for this video, all I was really reading was that anxiety or hangxiety, panic attacks really only happen when it's a bad hangover. I'm here to tell you, nope, I would get hangxiety even after I had 1 or 2 drinks the night before. I would get anxiety attacks the next day with my hangover. So yeah, they can happen with any level of hangover. And I think a lot of my issues were around social anxiety. So I would drink to feel more loosened up and to get rid of my social anxiety, which, I mean, it would work. But then the next day, when I'm not drunk anymore, my anxiety would come back even more so for lots of different reasons. But generally, a lot of people who drink to try to cope with social anxiety, generally, they're the people who are going to have hangxiety, and people who have a pre-existing anxiety disorder as well. They're also going to be more prone to having anxiety the next day after drinking. There was actually a 2019 study that concluded that the relief from shyness and anxiety followed by acute anxiety after drinking could mean that highly shy people were at an increased risk of developing alcohol use disorder. So why does it happen? Hangovers create a state of physiological stress. This happens when your body is under pressure from, say, like an illness or an injury, which makes sense because you consumed poison. So your body is trying to process it and break it down and basically clear it out of your system. Alcohol also has many effects on your brain, obviously. Dopamine neurons in your brain, which are responsible for rewards, get, of course, supercharged when you're drinking, and then they plummet to super low levels the next day when you're hungover. Alcohol also increases serotonin and endorphins when you're drinking, but side note, long-term alcohol use can actually lower serotonin levels, causing or exacerbating depression. And then the next morning, you're basically coming down off those endorphins, which is going to make you feel like shit. Alcohol also increases GABA activity, which is involved in lots of different brain activities such as motor control and memory, and it makes you feel relaxed. So, of course, once you stop drinking, that influx of GABA drops, along with that feeling of relaxation. And that drop of relaxation can make you feel the opposite. And also, as your body is getting rid of the alcohol that you put in it the night before, your blood sugar levels drop, which stresses your brain out even more. Drinking also lowers your immune system, increases cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, and it increases your blood pressure and your heart rate. All those changes also happen with anxiety. So if you're starting to feel those changes with just being hungover, your brain is going to be like, oh wait, I know these feelings. These feelings are what happens when I'm having a panic attack. Let's have one. Also, lack of sleep and lack of quality sleep can also make you feel really gross and gritty and garbagey and weird the next day too. Just the lack of sleep alone. So pair that with your body clearing out alcohol, then you got a recipe for anxiety. So other than those physiological reasons, there's of course also psychological reasons to hangxiety. The main one being feeling anxious about what you said or did or didn't do or whatever the night before when you were drinking. So psychologically, you can start to feel panicked and anxiety because of those things. Also, there are some people out there who catastrophize pain, where they exaggerate their pain, like not on purpose. It's just something that happens to them because their body experiences pain more. And they could also expect the worst from pain. So of course, when they're experiencing a painful hangover and they already have the tendency to catastrophize pain, then that can also lead to panic attacks or just a generalized high anxiety day. So what do you do? Well, first, if you experience hangxiety often, then that could be an indicator of a bigger problem. So speak to your doctor. You could also consume less alcohol. I did that, and like I said in the beginning of this video, it still didn't help me, but that's an option that you could try at least, because it very well could work for you. Also, if you are still drinking or practicing harm reduction, then be mindful when you drink. Like, keep yourself in check by saying to yourself, You don't want to feel like garbage tomorrow. You don't want to have anxiety all day tomorrow. So continuing to remind yourself that can keep yourself in check and can naturally make it so that you don't drink as much. And of course, if you find this to be too difficult and you still end up getting drunk, that's a huge indicator of a bigger problem, which you should look further into before it gets any worse. Again, speak with your doctor or speak with a mental health professional. Or if you're in the middle of a high anxiety day, do things like hydrate, eat nutritious foods, go for a walk. Or if you're in the middle of a panic attack, you can watch my video where I walk you through a panic attack to come down to a more relaxed state. The link for that is up here and down in the description. And lastly, it is a very bad idea to drink more alcohol to make that feeling go away. Where you drink because you don't want to, say for instance, have social anxiety, or you just drink to relax or drink to celebrate, whatever it is. And then you feel calm as the alcohol is working, doing its job. Then you stop drinking and you start to feel anxiety come back. So then you drink to feel calm again. And then you get stuck in a vicious cycle that goes on and on and on. And that could potentially get worse and worse and worse. So do you have experience with anxiety? I'm going to assume that you do since you clicked on this video. And have you found anything that makes it better? I mean, quitting drinking is what cured me of my anxiety. Actually, you can watch that video that I made about my anxiety and how I cured it. Literally, I don't have it anymore. And I was crippled by it. You can watch that video. I'm going to link it up here and I'm going to link it down below. You can watch that to see if you get any inspiration from my story. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember that you can do hard things, you deserve happiness, and you are loved. Your blood sugar level will just drop. Your blood sugar level